Ever played a game that stuck with you longer than any movie or book? The kind that rewires how you think and stays with you for months? Those games don't cost $80. They don't need massive budgets or marketing campaigns. Today, we're exploring 10 indie narrative games under $20 that will absolutely wreck you emotionally. Let's go. When was the last time a game made you feel genuinely lonely? Not bored. Lonely. Firewatch throws you in a Wyoming fire lookout tower. Summer 1989. Your only lifeline is Delilah, a voice on the radio. She's your supervisor, your confidant. Basically the only reason you keep playing. The writing is surgical. Every radio call builds this melancholic connection without cutscenes or dramatic reveals. The mystery unfolds through exploration and conversation. You're searching for answers about strange activity in the forest, but what matters is the intimacy between two strangers communicating only through radio waves. The game typically runs 4 to 5 hours, and by the end, you'll feel something you didn't expect to feel. The visuals are gorgeous, the soundtrack is haunting, and Delilah's voice will echo in your head for weeks after you finish. There's no combat, no action sequences, just two people connecting through radio waves. If you've ever felt isolated or misunderstood, this game speaks directly to that. Imagine a road that doesn't appear on any map, pulling a tired delivery driver off the highway and into something quietly unreal. Kentucky Route Zero is a point-and-click narrative adventure broken into 5 acts, plus interludes. Conway's a truck driver trying to complete a final delivery by finding Route Zero, a secret highway beneath Kentucky. It's a fever dream disguised as a road trip. The developers at Cardboard Computer obsessively edited every line of dialogue. Nothing is over-explained. The game trusts you to pull meaning from visual language, sound design, and the spaces you move through. Completing the whole story runs around 12 to 20 hours, depending on how slowly you absorb each moment. The dialogue, sparse as it is, carries the weight of novels. The visual design references Americana, coal mines, and the economic history of the South. Characters talk about their lives with poetic resignation, and underneath everything is this sense that something profound is happening, even if you can't quite articulate what. This game operates on the frequency of poetry rather than plot. If you've ever felt the pull of a road you can't quite see, this is your game. It's beautiful and heartbreaking in ways you won't expect. What if you could tell someone you love them without ever speaking a word? Journey is the second shortest game on this list, typically 1 to 3 hours. You control a robed figure in a vast desert traveling toward a distant mountain. Visually, it's absolutely stunning. Every frame looks like a painting. The soundtrack, composed by Austin Wintory, earned a Grammy nomination and carries you through every moment. Mechanically, it's simple: walk, jump, sing. But here's where it gets profound. Sometimes you encounter another traveler. You can't see their name. You can't speak with words. Your only communication is a musical chime that awakens pieces of cloth scattered through the environment. Two complete strangers can spend an hour together solving simple puzzles, discovering hidden areas, forming a wordless bond. That connection, knowing nothing about the person you're with, is the entire point. You'll finish Journey and immediately want to replay it, hoping to encounter that same person you played with. And you probably won't. That's the point. It's one of the most unique multiplayer experiences ever designed. What if you could travel back into a dying man's memories and fulfill his final wish? To the Moon is a narrative-driven adventure where two scientists use experimental technology to enter Johnny's mind on his deathbed and fulfill his last request, to go to the moon. The game runs approximately 4 hours, and those 4 hours contain some of the most profound storytelling in gaming. You jump through Johnny's memories from childhood to old age, gradually uncovering clues about why this wish matters so much to him. The writing is phenomenal. The plot has a twist that completely recontextualizes everything you've experienced. The soundtrack is gorgeous and enhances every emotional beat. By the end, you'll understand why this indie game still resonates more than a decade after release. It's the kind of game that changes how you think about your own life. This game asks impossible questions about meaning, mortality, and love. You'll finish it and spend hours thinking about what it means to live a life worth living. Not many games do that. What happens when you return home and everything's changed, except you're the one who's actually changed the most? Night in the Woods follows Mae Borowski, a college dropout moving back to Possum Springs, Pennsylvania. On the surface, it's reconnecting with old friends. But the game's got teeth. It weaves anxiety, economic collapse, friendship, and a supernatural mystery that gets harder to ignore as you progress. You choose who to hang out with each day. Each choice unlocks different conversations and story branches. Dialogue is sharp and economical, revealing personality without forced exposition. The game runs approximately 10 to 12 hours with side content, and it treats small-town life with the seriousness usually reserved for apocalyptic narratives. The art style is distinctive, the characters feel real. And underneath the cozy aesthetic is genuine dread about what's happening in Possum Springs. This game validates feeling lost. It validates anxiety. It makes you care deeply about characters you've never met in real life. And by the end, you'll want to move back to their hometown just to hang out with them. You have 30 minutes to experience the full emotional arc of someone's life through interactive storytelling. Florence is the shortest narrative game on this list, about 30 minutes from start to finish. But in those 30 minutes, you experience multiple chapters of someone's life. The game uses symbolic puzzle mechanics to represent different moments. During some chapters, dialogue pieces are easy to fit together, representing natural, effortless connection. During others, they become harder, jagged, angular. The writing is intimate and honest about how life evolves and changes. You'll piece together what's happening through the puzzles, the art, and the music. The art is beautiful. The soundtrack is haunting. By the end, you'll understand why people replay this game despite its brevity. This game makes you feel emotions you didn't expect to feel in 30 minutes. It's deceptively simple, but it captures something true about life that most games can't. You'll probably cry. You're a bureaucrat at a border checkpoint. Every stamp you make carries moral weight. Papers, please, puts you behind a desk, checking documents and stamping passports. Sounds incredibly boring, right? It's not. It's brilliant. The game's genius is forcing you to make impossible ethical choices. Your salary depends on processing documents correctly, but that means you might have to turn away desperate refugees. You can let them through and lose money your family needs to survive. You can arrest them and comply with an authoritarian government. Your family starves, or you're complicit in injustice. The game runs approximately 4 to 6 hours depending on which path you take. You'll encounter different characters across your shifts: smugglers, dissidents, families trying to escape. Each one forces you to confront your own morality. It's one of the most morally dense games ever made, and it costs $10. You'll finish this game feeling emotionally exhausted, and you'll still be thinking about the choices you made weeks later. Games rarely achieve that level of moral complexity. Unpack someone's life through the belongings they carry from house to house. Unpacking is a Zen puzzle game that tells a story without dialogue. You unpack boxes into different homes across 8 stages of someone's life: bedroom, university dorm, shared apartment, and beyond. Each object tells a story: the photographs that disappear, the gifts that arrive and then vanish, the trinkets that follow you across years. Gameplay is meditative, fitting block-shaped items into drawers and shelves. No timers, no pressure, no fail states. Just you, the music, and the slow realization that you're experiencing an entire life through its possessions. 4 to 5 hours of pure contemplation. The art is minimalist but expressive. The soundtrack is gentle and reflective. Pay attention to what changes between rooms. By the time you reach the final apartment, you'll feel emotionally connected to someone you've never met. You'll understand their struggles through what they choose to keep. It's a quiet masterpiece about how objects carry meaning. What if the most important game mechanic was just listening? Coffee Talk puts you behind the counter of a small coffee shop in a fantasy Seattle. Humans, elves, orcs, mermaids, they all come through your door with problems, dreams, and heartbreak. You listen. That's it. Gameplay is minimal. You read dialogue and occasionally brew drinks using simple ingredient combinations. Here's the genius part. The drinks you make subtly influence character moods and story outcomes, but you never directly control the narrative. You're a bystander in other people's lives. The writing handles racism, ageism, identity, and relationships with real sensitivity. A musician rebuilds her career after failure. An elf struggles with immortality while in love with a human. A cop works through moral compromise. The game spans roughly 5 to 8 hours across a 2-week cycle, broken into daily segments. It's deliberately paced and meant to be savored. You'll finish this game and suddenly understand the emotional weight of listening. Every conversation feels like it matters. And honestly, some of these character stories will hit you harder than games, with 10 times the budget. You're an archaeologist exploring a hidden nebula, deciphering an ancient language that might explain everything. Heaven's Vault is a narrative archaeology adventure where you sail through an open-world nebula, landing on strange planets to uncover an ancient civilization. The game gives you minimal direction. You choose where to go, who to trust, what mysteries to pursue. The story adapts to your choices. Characters remember everything you say, and dialogue branches based on your actions. Most importantly, you actually learn an alien language as you piece together hieroglyphics from ruins. It's intellectually engaging. You're genuinely solving puzzles to understand this language, and emotionally complex as you uncover what happened to this ancient world. Playtime runs around 10 to 15 hours depending on how much you explore. Winner of the IGF Excellence in Narrative Award, often on sale for under $15. This game makes you feel like an actual archaeologist discovering real history. The sense of discovery is genuine. And when you finally understand the language, when everything clicks into place, the emotional payoff is massive.